Well, we already discussed the Libertarian National Convention and Trump's appearance at it, where he got booed so badly into oblivion. And it was fun to watch, entertaining. Now I have for you his recovery adventure, where he went on a little field trip, I think to try to balance things out emotionally and help him recover emotionally from that devastating event. Again, he tried to act like it didn't bother him. It bothered him. And I'll show you the Maga cope a little bit later on in this segment. But first, Ron Filipkowski, who has a really strong game on Twitter and X, he was covering this event that Trump went to. It's a NASCAR race, where presumably the reason I'm saying this is his chance to emotionally recover is because the Libertarian National Convention boos him. NASCAR normally really likes him, so he can go on this field trip and make himself feel better. Well, Trump seemed very confused. I have to tell you, a lot of this storyline relates to Trump saluting just everything, just saluting out the wazoo. And I want to just put up front, he does look very confused. And this does seem, as Ron Filipkowski was pointing out, others, a part of Midas Touch were pointing out, that this seems to be sort of getting a bunch of shots of him saluting things and waving to people who aren't waving back, just so he can get shots of him for videos that then have cool music under it, and it looks like he's just walking around waving, saluting. That could be what this is about, but I do want to preface it by saying I'm not the expert on salute rules or etiquette, and so I'll just put that there. But Ron Filipkowski posted this clip with the caption, "Trump pulls up to the NASCAR race today and acts like the crowd is cheering for him so his propaganda film crew can do a nice edit later." And here's the clip he's referencing. Yeah, it doesn't, he's so far away. How could he possibly be gesturing to anyone? How could they even tell it's him? And Jordy Mycelis responded saying he's scared to get too close after being booed to pieces last night. And Ben Mycelis writing, he's pretending the NASCAR crowd is cheering for him. Maybe I'm just trying to dive in and figure out what's going on here, and these could be the explanations. Then Ron Filipkowski writes, he's just walking around saluting everything today. He salutes during Amazing Grace. He's saluting people, saluting airplanes. And here's an example. This all does seem very strange. Here's him saluting Amazing Grace. I'm going to quickly pause your viewing of this video to ask you to subscribe to the YouTube channel to help us continue to grow. It's free, it's easy, but I appreciate it so very much. Yeah, because no one else behind them. Filipkowski says that the guy next to Trump only put his hand on his heart after Trump started saluting. How many minutes was he saluting? Because I don't think he knew how to react at that point. So, a lot of saluting from Trump there, and no one can quite figure it out. But everyone in the background is not putting their hands on their heart or anything. So, I really don't understand what's going on there. But the other part of this is interesting. If we do perceive this as his emotional recovery field trip after the booing of the convention because it's a more friendly crowd of the NASCAR race, then we should dive into the cope that we've seen from much of MAGA, including Trump himself. Trump posted this on Truth Social. "The reason I didn't file paperwork for the Libertarian nomination, which I would have absolutely gotten if I wanted it, as everyone could tell by the enthusiasm of the crowd last night, was the fact that as the Republican nominee, I'm not allowed to have the nomination of another party." So just maybe you missed this. Here's a moment from the speech at the Libertarian National Convention.
"Ladies and gentlemen, the great liberation of America begins on November 5th, 2024. It will be the most important day in the history of our country. and the forgotten man and woman will be forgotten no longer. I want to thank you. I want your support. And again, you can either nominate us and put us in the position or give us your votes. I would say nominate or give us your votes, but we want libertarian votes because you stand for what we stand for, and don't waste a vote. And don't allow the worst president in the history of our country to come back and do the final destruction of America. Thank you very much, everybody. God bless you. God bless you.
So Trump got booed off stage, booed out of the venue. I was there briefly and talked to some people on the ground. They were not happy with Trump. Not happy at all. And he's saying that he could have gotten the nomination at that event and that he just chose not to, and that the enthusiasm was incredible. Stop it. Stop it. That's just so ridiculous. And because we've been talking about Ron Philip Kelsey's great coverage, I'll read his on this one. He really is like a classic totalitarian, authoritarian dictator where he just spews one outrageous and oblivious lie after another to cultists who believe everything. Things can be in writing, on video, doesn't matter. He tells them not to believe their lying eyes, and they agree. Exactly right. If maybe you're a Maga follower, you watch that clip of him being booed and you were able to sort of translate it into cheers in your head. And then you have Tim Scott, who's trying to become Trump's vice presidential running mate, saying this on CNN.
Donald Trump, good morning, faced a mix of cheers and boos at the Libertarian National Convention. What did you make of that response?
Well, I saw a wave of red hats at the Libertarian Convention. Donald Trump's popularity continues to increase. But Dana, he's not just going to the Libertarian Convention. He's also doing rallies in Bronx. He's doing something what I consider a 50-state strategy. He doesn't just want to win the votes of the American people. He's trying to win the hearts of the American people, unite our country, and start steering us towards the strongest, most powerful, prosperous future we could have. So I give him a lot of credit and going to places where Republicans have not gone before. If we're going to win this election cycle, we must go where we're not invited. And to see the former president take that seriously is, in my opinion, a strong sign, and one of the reasons why, Dana, we are seeing the poll numbers moving in his direction. It's pretty exciting to see the kind of response he's getting across the country.
I'm going to ask.
So he's not buying into reality. Then you have Mike Lee, who is a Republican senator, and he spoke at this convention, and whenever he said go vote for Trump, he got booed, and he posted this video afterwards.
Okay, so I just finished speaking at the Libertarian Convention, and then President Trump spoke right after me. This was amazing. No other president in U.S. history, to my knowledge, has ever shown up at another party's political convention, openly asked for their endorsement, and just really hit the ground running. Well done, President Trump. I think you won the hearts and minds of a whole lot of libertarians out there and a whole lot of other Americans. Thank you.
Mike's giving me some weird vibes, I have to say. But he's also saying you won over the hearts and minds of the people who were booing you the entire time. Come on, Mike. Let's be real here. So there it is, Trump at NASCAR, recovering from the boo fest, and lots of coping going on about that boo fest. Let me know in the comments if you can figure out what the heck's going on with all those salutes.